Okay, so let's take a look here. It says this is the DC motor controller. It's got a bunch of stuff hooked to it. And it says it wants 48 volts. Okay, 26 amps. Okay, very interesting. Okay, so we'll have to look for a 48 volt battery, it looks like, for this controller. Okay. Okay, so here's our bike. There we go, and there's our front wheel, and there is our control modulator, control unit for the motor. And I tell you, these directions, they are horrible. They're actually pretty much non-existent. But I think what we want to do is hook up this connector, which is connected to the wheel here, there's the wheel, here's a connector on that, to our motor controller. I guess we should call it a motor controller. So it looks like these two guys connect together. Okay. Yeah, because there's pins in there and there's sockets there. It looks like it's missing a pin in that position. So I think these two guys connect together like so. Come on. Yeah. See, there's a little hole where that latch goes into. This does not. What the heck? Okay, there we go. Okay, so that lines up, and looks like we have a red, or a blue, a green, and a yellow wire here, and there's a corresponding, what appears to be a these things are just like spaghetti coming out of here. Same color wires here, a green, a blue, and a yellow. And so I think I'm going to get some nuts and bolts and try to just screw these together, and then maybe I'll have to tape them up so they don't touch each other, because you don't want this to short out. That will probably destroy the power unit, the motor controller, because most power supplies do not like to see a dead short. Okay, let me find some screws and I'll try to get these screwed together. Okay, so here's some electrical tape, and I found some nuts and bolts that are pretty short. I don't want them to be too long because they're going to be sticking out and getting in the way of stuff. And so let me try to just screw these onto these, get these wires all hooked up, and we'll tape them up with the electrical tape. Okay. Okay, so here we got two wires here, and got these loops. I'll get the bolts through the loops. Okay, so green, green, and we'll get the nut on the other side. Tighten this guy up. Okay, and there we go. And probably want to get that really tight, so you don't want this to come apart while you're riding for sure. So I get a screwdriver and tighten that up probably, and I'll get all these up together, and I'll electrical tape them together, or put electrical tape around them so they don't short. Okay, there we go. I got all yellow with the yellow, green with the green, and the blue with the blue. And I have some electrical tape here. And let me just start taping these up. So I guess I'll tape up the yellow one first because it's right here. And you gotta get that tight. Make sure that there's no metal showing. Okay. And so there, the yellow one is now taped up, and I'll get the blue and the green one taped up. And then I'll look at this thing and see if there's any more wires that I have to hook up. Looks like we have throttle and a brake here, another brake over there. Looks like we probably got to take off the normal brakes on the bike and replace them with these. Okay, looks like it's pretty doable. Okay. And some of this stuff I may not use. I think it's for the pedal assist, which this thing, I think this is the Hall sensor for the pedal assist, and I'm going to try to not use that. Okay, so let me finish up taping these other two, and then maybe if we got everything hooked up, I might get the battery down here and give it a test go. Okay. Okay, so there we go. Okay, let's take a look here. So we got all three taped up. Make sure we got yellow to yellow, green to green, blue to blue. And this connector seems to be unique. And it seems to plug into there. So, okay, again, let's take a look here. And that goes to the wheel up there, so now we have our control unit hooked up to the wheel. And all this other stuff already came plugged in, so I assume that's correct. And I think, let's see, there's a red and a black wire, and according to the really terrible directions, I think these are the power input from the battery. And of course the battery has a different type of plug, so I'm going to have to maybe change these or something. Change the battery plug, change these, maybe change both of them. And so I might just use some clip leads to temporarily check that. Anyway, okay. We'll see if I can figure out how to do that. Okay, looks like it has finally arrived. And let's see what this is. Come on, really? Wow, this thing is really tough to cut. These scissors. Oh, okay, maybe these scissors have been dulled. It's almost cutting sandpaper with them. Okay. Oh, this really was a lot sharper. Okay. Oh, there we go. Look, my new handle grips for my electric bike project. Very cool, huh? Comes with a key and everything. Wow. Okay. Let's take a look here. Oh, look at that. Okay. Oh, come on. There we go. So it's got something to go over the bike. Handlebar there. It's got a key you can insert in there. You can twist this for the throttle. Here's the keys. Very cool, huh? Let's see what kind of plug this thing has. Okay, so that's what the plug looks like on that thing. And I'll have to... It doesn't look like it comes with any documentation, but we have a handle for the other side. And I ordered this, so hopefully it would be compatible with my new motor controller, because I think I might have burnt the old one out, and I couldn't find that model anyplace. And so hopefully this will work with the new one, because this other one has some other kind of weird plug, and I guess I could rewire it, but none of these things come with wiring diagrams or anything, and it's kind of a freaking nightmare trying to figure out what the heck's going on with this thing. Okay. So hopefully that one will be plugged right and wired right for our new controller. Yeah, let's get some of this junk out of here. Okay, it looks like it has finally arrived. Let's see what's in here. Come on. Oh, I didn't cut it deep enough. I burnt out my other controller. I hooked up the wires backward by accident. I had a bunch of adapter stuff and I got confused. So we'll see if this works with my bike motor. Hopefully they're compatible. And I had to order a new throttle because the other throttle wasn't pinned properly. So let's see what's inside of here. Excellent. Oh, this is so exciting. We can test out our bike now. Look at that. This one's also got a bunch of wires coming out of it. Come on, really? Brushless controller. Oh, it can go up to higher voltage. This can go up to 72 volts. I think my battery's only 48 volts. Okay. 48 volts at 30 some amps. Let's see, that's basically 50 times 30, which is that 1500 watts? It's pretty good. Okay. Wow. And here's our connectors and stuff. And let's see if I can hook this up to the bike. Yeah, let's see if I can hook it up to, I got these things over here. Oh, here. Here's my throttle control. And there is the plugs for that thing. And I don't think this came with any schematics, so so there's 5 pins with that one too. Very interesting. So hopefully I don't blow out something else playing this guessing game. Look at that. Oh my god, how many freaking wires are coming out of that guy. Okay, we'll see if we can get this thing to work. It's just awesome. Maybe I can see if I can find a schematic for this, because I have no idea what those freaking pins are. I thought it'd just be a plug that would mate with this thing over here, because they were kind of sold together, but oh my god. I don't think... Yeah, there's no documentation in this box. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Okay, anyway. We'll see what we can do with this. Very cool. Okay, so here's a new motor controller, and I'll see if I can try to figure this out. I think the first thing I'll do, here's our bike wheel, and this is the 3-phase input. And I didn't realize this thing is like some kind of bus bar where you can splice these wires, hook them together, and they won't touch each other, so you don't need to put electrical tape on it. Let me just get this apart, and we'll see if we can screw the wires into this guy. That'd be nice. Okay, so I just got the screws out of that guy, and let's open her up. Okay, so see there's some lugs in here, so we could attach each of these wires to these lugs, and then I'm going to guess that there is corresponding wires on this guy. Maybe match up the colors and hope it works. Let's see, what do we got here? We got a yellow, a blue, and a green. And on this one, I'm going to assume the red and the black here are the power lines. So we have a yellow purple and a green. Okay, so I think I'll try to tie these down to this lug. Maybe take off these nuts here. And then we'll stick that guy together. And so then the three-phase of this will be hooked up. Okay. Okay, so here is the wire from our motor. And I think I'll start with the yellow wire. Okay. And I'll put that on one of the lugs. And I'll take the yellow wire from our controller over here. Put that on the other lug, on the same lug, actually. I had taken off this nut. Where is it? Come on. Oh, it's right here. So we'll get these two together. Like so. Okay. Let's take a look back here. Okay. And then let me get that nut on there before these things pop back apart. And there we go. So we matched yellow with yellow. And I think I'll go through and match the other colors. Let's see if we can get the phases hooked up. And then try to figure out the rest of the plugs. Okay, there. So now I got the green match with the green. And I'll just do the blue next. Take off this nut here. Get the two blue wires connected up. Okay. Okay, there we go. I've matched the yellow, yellow, green, green, blue, blue. And let's, I guess, stick this top back on here, which will keep these from shorting out to each other. Okay. And screw this back together. Okay. And then our phases will be all set. Then I'll have to figure out the next plug, which I think the next thing is this magnetic hall sensor. And I did notice that these do have some kind of labels in Chinese and English. And there's a huge amount of wires, but maybe this looks like about the same type of plug. Let's take a look here. See if I can find the tag for it. See if it's got a tag. Hopefully it's got a tag. I guess. Let's see, is there any other plugs that look like that? I guess this is the hall sensor, hopefully. Okay, so it looks like pretty much all the other plugs are labeled except for this one. I don't see any label anywhere on there. But it looks like it has the same colored wires, yellow, red, black, green, and blue. And this is the plug from our motor up here. And it looks like they are keyed the same. And so let's just try plugging this thing into there. And we'll see if we get any sparks. Okay. Okay, look at that. So it looks like it fits. It snaps into place. It looks like the wires might correspond. Red, black to red, yellow to yellow. So, and it's the only plug that would possibly fit in there. So this is the hall sensor, I believe, because you got to sense the position of the tire when you're sending phases to it, so you can make it spin in the proper direction and at the right speed. And let me look through these, because I gotta be able to hook up the throttle also. I want at least the throttle to work, because you can't control the motor without a throttle, right? Okay. Okay, so I have a feeling that all these controllers are different, and I think this one right here, see this plug right here, says it is called speed controller handle. So I believe that is what I want to hook to this, because this is speed controller from the handlebar. But unfortunately, this has got a plug that looks like that. This has got a plug that looks like that. But look, here's the wires. Black, green, and red. And there's wires here, black, green, and red, going to that. There's a couple other plugs. I'm not sure what these are for. Maybe they're battery indicator or something. I'm not sure. Because there's some kind of indicator on here, which there's no documentation at all. So I'm going to have to do something to be able to mate this plug with this plug. And I think maybe that's going to involve me chopping off some wires and replugging. Maybe, see, there's a plug right here that looks like it will fit it. Yeah, but this says pedal frequency magnetic sensor. And I don't want to hook up the pedal frequency magnetic sensor to my throttle here. But maybe if this plug will fit on that other one, maybe I'll chop this off and chop this plug off and put that plug on this guy and plug him into here. We'll see. Let me just look and see if this is going to work. Okay. It's definitely a do-it-yourself project. Oops. Okay, so one thing I recommend when you're, let's see if I can find my things I want to cut. I want to use this plug, cannibalize it, and stick it on where the other plug is, but I like to cut these back enough so that I have enough room to strip off the wires. And if you cut it like way up close to the plug, you're not going to be able to strip the wires and plug it onto something else. So give yourself some room here. And don't get your finger in between the scissors. Let's see, where did that thing go? Come on, really? Okay, there it is. So here's the plug that I want to use. And that actually does, I did check it. That's probably, these things are all different, unfortunately. So here is our throttle control. And it does fit onto here. Okay. And then I'm going to want to match the wires probably from the other plug. I'm going to unplug the other plug. See, that snaps on there. Okay, and that's the only plug on our crazy controller thing here. Where is it? That has a plug that will fit onto our bike thing. I'm just going to leave it plugged into there so I don't lose it. And then we can make sure we match the wires up. Okay, so I'll leave him plugged into there like that. And let's take a look at our other plug that we want to cut off to splice the wires onto that. And I believe this is it. See, it's got the green, red, and black. And it says speed controller handlebar. So again, I think I might leave some leads on these just in case I need to use this plug for something in the future, because who only knows, right? Don't get your fingers between the scissors. And so I'm going to splice these wires in the proper configuration, so as they go through this plug, they will go to the correct wires on this side, the green, red, and the black. So I got to make sure that these wires here from the controller are going to go to the proper place on this guy over here. Okay, so I'm going to get these stripped back and splice them together and get out my soldering iron. We'll see what we can do. And here we go. Of course, if you have a wire stripper, that's the optimum thing to use, but if you don't, razor blades work nice. Just don't cut yourself. And I usually kind of go around the wire. And the inside of the wire is stronger than the insulation. So you can kind of just cut the outside, circumcise the outside, and then you have your wire ready. So let me do that to all the wires, and then I'll make sure that the wires are all proper before you turn the electricity on, because you don't do like what I did, blow out one of your controllers. Okay. Always triple check before you turn the electricity on. Okay, so here's our motor controller. I have the wires that are supposed to go to the handlebar here. Black, red, and green. Going through this connector and making sure that they go to the corresponding, see the black wires on the left-hand side going to the black wire. The middle one's the red, to the middle red one. And the green one goes through the blue wire in this connector and then back to the green one again. So as long as they end up on the right way on the other side, I think it should be fine. I'm going to try to solder these and then tape them off so they don't short out against something. And I think we might be good to go with this connector or this throttle thing. Other than the fact I'm not sure what these are. They some kind of indicator here, and I'm not sure if that's a power indicator or a speed indicator or God only knows. So I'll try to figure out what those two wires are. There's no documentation. So much fun. Okay. Okay, so here we go. Let's we got these twisted together. Let's try soldering them up. Okay. Our soldering iron here. I'll just solder these three. Then we'll tape them up so they don't short out together. Okay, so all three are now soldered up. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay, and here we have some electrical tape. And let me just get these taped up. Okay, so just like to fold that over. Oh, come on. Okay, so let's get this taped up. Okay. Get this wire folded over. And I like to wrap this tape around there. Make sure it doesn't short out with the other ones. I'll get them all taped up like that. Okay. There we go. So we got one taped up and two more to go. Get those taped up and then see what we have to do next. Somehow hook up the power maybe. Okay, so just make sure the battery is hooked up properly. I got my leads in there and it looks like 47.51 volts when I turn it on. Okay, so I don't know, this is where I blew the last one out, I think, unless I just didn't have it hooked up right. I think I reversed the leads because I got confused about this adapter thing and I hooked it up wrong and there were sparks shooting out. Not high voltage sparks, but high current sparks, like when you touch the leads of your jumper cables together or something. Let me see. I believe that these wires here, there's a red wire here and a black wire here. And I believe that those are the power wires. And I might end up cutting that off and putting lugs on that because I don't have a connector like that. And there's something like a lock or anti-theft thing that says it's got to be connected, so maybe that goes to the key thing here, I don't know. But anyway, there's something I'm not sure about, but okay, let's continue on. Maybe we'll try putting power on this and see if it works or not, and I'll be sure to get the power in the right polarity so I don't blow out another one of these units here. These power motor controllers. Okay. Oh, okay, so here's the adapter I got with the battery, and I think I'm going to cut this connector off and put lugs on it because our power supply here, motor power supply, has lugs. I believe these are the inputs, the red and black standard, that's positive and negative. And so these are the connectors that go onto the battery. So there's adapters there. So if I put lugs on these, I'll be able to use these to have connectors that I can put on and take off from the battery. Okay. So maybe I'll just go ahead and cut this connector off of here. Wow, these are a little bit hard to cut. They're pretty thick wires. Oh. Cut these connectors off. Okay. I'll strip these back and put these lugs on here. Let's see where my lugs go. Okay, so here's my lugs. And let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so here's our wire. And I had to get some bigger lugs because this wire is really thick. And hopefully this lug fits onto that wire. And I guess it kind of does. You got to transport a lot of current down these wires. And let's see, yeah, it looks like it's in there. I kind of twist it and push it in. And I can't find my crimpers. But sometimes, you know, someone told me anyone can do the job with the right tools. It takes an engineer to be able to do the job with the wrong tools. And here's the wrong tool for that. There's a special crimper device used for crimping these lugs onto wires. But you can squeeze it with other things like a pipe wrench or something. Let's see if we can squish this down. Squeeze it really hard. There we go. And look at that, beautiful crimp, huh? I'll probably tape that up too when I put these on the other guys. Let's get the other wire out here. And here's some more of my lugs. And we'll get one on this guy too. Okay. Get these lugs put on. And crimp them down. Okay, there we go. Okay. Yeah, it seems like that one's on pretty good. Okay, so let's get these all hooked up. Okay. Okay, so here's our motor controller. I believe these are the power cables from that. And here is our wires with the lugs in them. And I got some screws and nuts here. Take a look at that. And so let's get these guys on here. Come on. Get that through our wire, through our second wire, and we'll get this together. Okay, and I'll probably tighten that up and then clamp it down. Okay, so red to red, and we'll do black black. Okay. The nut on the back. And all these things are such a versatile tool. You can use it for so many things. Look at that. Get these lugs tight. And then we'll get our electrical tape and we'll just tape these up. Okay. Make sure there's no exposed metal. Okay, there we go. Okay. And we'll get the red one done. Okay, there we go. And I think we are all set to hook these up to our battery here. There's a battery. And we have these special connectors here. Red to red. Black to black. I guess we could test this out, but I suspect that there's something else that needs to be hooked up before we do that. But maybe I'll give this a shot and see what happens. Very cool, huh? There's garbage in there. Oh, there we go. Okay. Okay, so let's just look this over a little bit before we turn the power on to this. So I have our throttle controller there. Get some tools out of the way. And we have our battery here. And it's turned off right now, but last time I turned the battery on there were sparks. So let's see if there's sparks this time. Okay, nothing. No sparks. Now I suspect that one of these wires has got to be shorted out to allow this thing to work. Okay, so yeah, I'm trying to actuate this. Again, I don't have a couple of the wires hooked up here also, so I'm not sure what they're for. If they're for the display or what. But no sparks this time. Yeah, see there's a yellow and a blue wire there. And then there's some wires over here that claim that they're like the lock and they need to be connected or something. So I might investigate what that is, but definitely no movement on the tire. We're fiddling with this thing. See, I don't feel any resistance either. Okay. So I don't know. We'll have to fiddle with this some and see what's going on. Okay, so these things are labeled electric door lock. And they have a voltage across them. Well, it's leaking down, but when I turn the battery on, it's the full voltage of the battery. And it kind of leaks down. It must have a capacitor in there, so we'll turn it on quickly. So 47 volts. So I'm not sure if those are supposed to be shorted out or what. Hate to short something out that's got that kind of voltage across it. Okay. Okay, so here we go. I think I figured out what the problem was. So we have our battery there, and here's our motor controller. And again, this is the two wires. It says electric door lock. Then it says must be connected. And so I got well, actually I put a resistor in there first to make sure it didn't draw a lot of current. And I tried shorting it out. That seems to fix the problem. Let's turn on our battery, and we'll try the throttle. Okay, see if I can do the throttle. Okay, here we go. Look at that. Wow, our motor's running. Very cool, huh? A very cool noise. Look at that. Okay, so I suspect that I can. Let me turn the battery off. There's some kind of lock on here, and maybe these two pins that come out of that are actually a switch, and I can plug them into the door lock thing, so I can use that to lock the bike with these keys. That'd be cool, huh? That would turn off the motor. I'm going to test these first with a voltmeter and make sure that they are what I think they are, because I don't want to blow something out. I just want to make sure that these coming from our throttle thing here are basically just a switch controlled by the key here. And if, excuse me, if that's the case, then it looks like they have the same connectors too. I could just plug them right into there. And that would be like our ignition for our bike. Very cool, huh? Okay, so I have my beater set on ohms, and I put the key in here, and let's just try flipping that. And look at that, it looks like it's just a switch. So I should be able to hook that up to these two leads here, and hopefully not blow something out. And maybe it's got some kind of readout. I was thinking maybe that tells you the voltage too, I don't know. I'll try that and see what happens. Okay. Okay, so these two plugs are from our throttle thing here, and these are the door lock plugs here, and it looks like they're keyed a certain way. I don't know if that's critical for measuring the voltage or what, but I plug these guys in like so. Okay, I have to maybe put the camera down to get them plugged in good. Okay. And then we'll give this thing a test. Okay, there. So I have the other two leads from this guy plugged into the door lock leads coming out of our motor controller here. And we'll turn our battery on, and we will turn the key on. Oh, look at that. It tells you the voltage of the battery. And here we go. Let's see if I can twist this with one hand. I got to twist it this way. There we go. Yeah, it's hard to put torque on that direction. Well, there we go. Look at that. Oh, so very cool. This is awesome. So it tells you the battery voltage, and you can use it as a throttle. Oh, this is so awesome. I'm going to have to inflate the tire next, I think, because this tire came uninflated, and I haven't inflated it since I haven't been able to test it, so I figured it would be easier to stick on the bike uninflated. So very cool. Look at that. Oh, this is so awesome. Okay, let me flip the power off here. And look at that. The voltage drops